Hi, everyone. I am here today with Kaleb, who is the founder of SunSnap Kids. Kaleb founded this company in 2019. He has been hitting the ground running. So I want to say thank you for joining me today, Kaleb.
Oh,
And
thanks for having me.
yeah, absolutely. So I just really interested to hear a little bit about how you really started coming down this path of, helping care for not only children's eye health, but, eye health in general. What is your background? What inspired you to become an optometrist?
Well, I always knew I wanted to do something in healthcare. I got to Texas A&M University and decided to major in nutrition. And actually, majoring in nutrition, I learned a lot about the connections between um, what you eat and how healthy your eyes are, particularly vitamin A. And in all of my nutrition classes, that's when I started to become fascinated with the eyes. And I was always pretty fascinated with just natural methods of disease prevention anyway. And I liked that optometry, you're really correcting people's vision and you're not using a whole lot of pharmaceuticals. A lot of times you can help keep the eyes healthy just by healthy lifestyle. Then you can treat people's vision using corrective lenses. I like that it didn't really delve too much into the pharmaceutical industry because I'm more of someone who liked to try to encourage natural methods of healthcare.
Sure. Absolutely. And so you started down that path and looked at the different ways you could help, and then just settled on optometry as your
Mhm.
path.
Yeah, and then that's one reason I wanted to become an optometrist. What was because it was a lot more less pharmaceutical based, but still in healthcare. And I also liked optometry because it allowed for different avenues for business and different sort of business opportunities. And then another reason I wanted to get into the sunglasses industry is that it's really a natural method of protecting the eyes.
Mhm. Right, just a little bit of what we put into our body and then what we put to protect our body. And
Hmm.
that's pretty simple, but also pretty profound.
Yes.
Um, and I understand that you've graduated in 2018, so you're fairly, um, new out practicing. When
Yes.
did you actually decide to begin designing and using these children's sunglasses, the SunSnap Kids?
Yeah. Well, I moved out to Denver, Colorado, right after graduating because my wife was starting a medical residency out here. And Denver is located famously about a mile above sea levels. There's a lot of UV light here. There's a lot of sunny days. We actually get more sunny days than pretty much every city in Florida, which a lot of
Ah,
people don't know. So people are just wearing sunglasses constantly. Adults wear sunglasses not just in the summertime, but also in the winter time too. And I started to notice that with my patients, adults were always wearing sunglasses and kids were hardly ever wearing sunglasses, especially kids about 12 years and under. And so I just kind of started asking parents, why do your kids not wear sunglasses? And just trying to strike conversations about that. And that's when the parents told me that they would love to buy their kids sunglasses, but they're just scared that the sunglasses were going to get lost. So that kind of started to bother me more and more. And then finally, 6 months into practicing, um, I decided I wanted to try to figure out a way to help these kids and help protect these kids' eyes. I would just see kids walking around Denver squinting all the time and just spending all this time outside and not getting protection for their eyes. So that's when I started contacting a group of entrepreneurs from my undergrad, Texas A&M, and we kind of started a think tank on what we could do to help protect these kids' eyes and what different avenues that we could go down, how we could design sunglasses differently. And then one thing led to another, and then we started really getting serious about finding a solution. And then we came up with the slap bracelet sunglasses. That was January of 2019. And then I contacted two partners, people that would become my partners, who helped me start designing the sunglasses starting probably about February or March of 2019.
wow. So here we are in January of 2020. So
Yeah.
that speed to market is incredible.
Yeah, it took a lot of hustle, to be honest, because one thing we had to do was really try to figure out the kids' sizes and what our target audience was. So we had to do a lot of market research on what was already out there, if there was any sort of room for us inside the sunglasses business for that age range. And then we had to do a lot of product testing. So it was a lot of ordering samples from various places, having them come in, testing them on kids and making sure that they're fitting well, and then making changes. So we ended up kind of finalizing the design around August, and then it was getting them all produced, and then we actually officially launched on December 7th of 2019. So it actually was a pretty quick turnaround. The people I was working with were very expedient and realized the urgency of how quickly we wanted to get the product to market.
Yeah, so really congratulations. It's really just been about a little over a month then, a month and a half. That's
Yeah, we've only been launched about 6 weeks.
amazing. And what's the reception been so far?
The reception has been pretty incredible. I mean, we haven't actually started any advertising yet. It's mostly been friends and family talking about it, and we've had a fairly overwhelming number of orders to begin with, which we were trying to fulfill, and getting our customized boxes ready and things like that. We were a little thrown aback about the demand that we were already starting to see. And then on top of that, now we have optometrists contacting me wanting to purchase them wholesale to sell in their own private practices. So that's another thing that we've been trying to gear up for and get ready for.
Wow, that's really incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I am interested in learning a little more about the parameters as a mother. We were chatting a little bit before we started this interview about skiing, and I've got a 5.5-year-old boy who, on the scale of head size, he's always been in like the 102nd percentile.
Yeah.
So he went skiing for the first time last weekend, and he had to use my helmet.
Uh-huh.
So would these work for him? I mean, is there a lot of flexibility in the sizing, or?
Yeah, it actually, I can show you. So these are the sunglasses here.
Okay.
With the slap bracelets, and actually, because they're slap bracelets, they actually yield themselves to being very flexible.
Okay.
So, and then they return to their normal shape. So they work really well fitting on heads and then in stretching.
And still being comfortable.
Yeah, and they're actually very comfortable. And then once you put them on, you can actually snap it like this, and it actually holds on to the kid's head. And then you would think that this might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it actually really isn't. I actually have an adult pair, and you don't really feel it at all, but it makes it to where the sunglasses really can't fall off of the kid's head. Really nice. And then when you're done wearing it, you just slap it on your wrist or slap it on purses, strollers, car seats. A lot of kids slap them to their the straps on their backpack, so it just kind of sits like that, just on the strap. So parents slap them to steering wheels and things like that. So just whatever's convenient.
It is. It's genius. I mean, yeah. That same 5-year-old, playing with a Batman slap bracelet today in the car. So.
Okay.
And yeah, my bad mom story is he did have a pair of glasses, and the croquis got lost because he's farsighted and has astigmatism in one eye. So I tied yarn on the glass. My husband was appalled. But it's better than having them fall off, and getting scratched or broken.
That's true, yeah.
But to have something that just does it on its own is, way classier than art. And do they come in a lot of different colors? I haven't had much chance.
We have 6 different SKUs right now. I have all the polarized ones with me, so I can go ahead and show these to you if you wanted to see them. So this is our purple polarized pair. So, and then the purple temples actually match the tint on the polarization. I don't know if you can quite tell that. Then this is our mint polarized pair here, the one that I was kind of already showing you. And then we also have our black polarized pair, which is more mirrored of a lens. So then we have all 3 of these options also in non-polarized as well, because we really wanted there to be a cheaper option too, for parents that didn't want to spend, a full $29.99 on the polarized pair. We really wanted to offer an affordable pair. So our non-polarized pair is $17.99, which most parents think is much more affordable. Absolutely. And then some of them are nervous about it. They don't want to spend $30 on something that they're still a little hesitant about, so they would go with the non-polarized pair at that point. So we've had a few parents decide to go that route. But the vast majority of our sales have actually been the polarized pair, because I think parents are starting to understand the benefits of polarization, not just for themselves, but also for their kids too. The biggest thing is it's reducing glare that is coming through the lens. And the number one factor for kids actually wearing sunglasses is, do the kids like them? Are they fun to wear? Does it make their eyes actually feel better? And I think a lot of parents are starting to realize polarization actually yields more comfort for a lot of these kids. And then because of that, I think they actually wear the sunglasses more and protect their eyes more.
Yeah, and now you mentioned that you have an adult pair. So is there SunSnap Kids and then SunSnap Adults?
No, actually, the adult pair, the company is called Slap Eyewear. And that's a company that was actually started by another Texas A&M graduate that I talked to. And he was one that I was talking to about trying to form a kids line. And he was pretty focused on selling his adult pairs, and that's when I ended up deciding to launch the kids company. So he refers kid patients to my company, and I refer adult patients to his company.
Perfect.
Yeah, it works great.
Yeah, it made me think too, like this. You were talking about snapping on the steering wheel and things like for fishermen, you snap it on your fishing pole, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dad and son, or I guess I fish too, so.
We've thought about all the different avenues that you can go down for marketing and advertising. I mean, fishing is definitely one big one, especially with the polarization that we have.
Right. Yeah. And if you have sun. Which, as I mentioned, yeah, I'm out here in Vancouver, Washington. So the 3 months a year that we have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the advantages are, yeah, the comfort, really the price. I mean, you can't beat, if it's less than $20, there's no reason to buy that. And then, of course, we know the health benefits. Do you find that there's a lot of education for parents, or that they're sold to some knowing that they like wearing sunglasses, and if they can help their kids with that as well, that it's kind of a no-brainer?
Right off from the beginning, we really wanted SunSnap Kids to be a company that helps protect young developing eyes, whether that's through our sunglasses or other sunglasses. And as an optometrist and an entrepreneur, I'm actually in a pretty neat position to help educate parents on the risks of UV light exposure to the eyes. So our SunSnap Kids social media is constantly trying to educate parents and remind parents of, you know, general tips for eye care, as well as just tips for protecting the eye. So we didn't want our social media to be centered around advertising, because nobody wants to follow an advertisement. We really wanted to be centered around parenting and around tips to help protect their kids' eyes and their kids' health in general. So, and I think we're in a really unique position to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I assume then that choosing the name was pretty, you know, I'm always interested about the origin of these things. Is that something you had trouble coming up with, or was it like a bolt of inspiration, or?
Well, it's funny. Surprisingly, so many business names are already taken, and website domains are actually quite a few of those are taken as well. So when we were choosing a name, we really wanted three things to be a factor. First, we wanted to mention kids. We wanted people to know that this is a kid's product, mostly because there's not a whole lot of kids sunglasses that exist. So when we had any sort of advertisement or picture showing sunglasses, we wanted them to know this is a kid's product, because there's not a whole lot of kids sunglasses out there. The second thing that we really wanted to have was talking something about how there's a slap bracelet, or how the temples can snap. So we wanted it to be kids and something with the word slap or snap to it. And then ideally we wanted to mention something about protecting the eyes, or something about the sun. So after doing a lot of creative brainstorming, SunSnap Kids is what ended up emerging.
Yeah, well, it hits all of those criteria on the head.
It does, yeah.
And the domain was free.
Yeah, and then this was the logo that we ended up coming up with.
Oh, cool.
So SunSnap Kids, and then you can see a little sun coming off of the kids. This is actually our the boxes that we ship the sunglasses in. So our sunglasses are called Snappies. Our company is called SunSnap Kids, and then when you order a pair, we welcome you to the Snap Squad.
Thank you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, Now they look pretty durable, but we are talking about kids. So
Hmm.
is there a warranty, or tell me about how you address that concern?
Yeah, right now we have a 1 month warranty. So anytime if your sunglasses get broken within the first month, no matter how they're really broken, we replace that for you for free.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're starting off with 1 month, and we were kind of testing it to see what's going to happen. And actually, at this point, we haven't had a single customer come back to us saying that their sunglasses were broken. We did a lot of product testing ahead of time to figure out exactly how durable these were. We had a particularly rambunctious 2.5-year-old get their hands on it, and he actually fell in love with the product and slept in it every single night for several months.
Uh-huh.
And he didn't end up breaking it. It was in great condition. At one point, he did throw a temper tantrum, and he grabbed the sunglasses like this and pulled it. And it actually didn't break when that happened. Surprisingly, what happened was that one of the screws came out, and it just had to be screwed back in.
Uh-huh.
So, and that was a 2.5-year-old throwing a temper tantrum and trying to break them. So we've actually found that they've been pretty durable thus far, and we haven't had to replace a single pair.
Yeah, no, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I wonder if the adult line has the same success.
I don't know. I'd have to ask my friend that.
Yeah, I have a cousin who got like those Nike bendy ones.
Hmm.
That was at a party. I think there was drinking involved, but it was like, look, you can't break these, and snapped them right in half. And yeah.
Yeah, if you try to demonstrate how they can't get broken, that's probably the time that they're going to get broken.
Right. Yeah. Um, so we've talked a little bit about how they came about and where you are right now, which you're in that launch phase. Are you reaching out to like pediatricians? Are they seeking you out, or is it really just the optometric community so far that's had this on the radar?
It's mostly the optometric community, and we actually, thus far, we haven't done any advertising. We plan on starting our advertising very shortly, but we've just been trying to fulfill the orders that are already coming our way. We are really trying to finalize our boxes, which took quite some time to get a quality box that we really liked. We also wanted our boxes to be really thin. We wanted to use the least amount of material as possible so that the sunglasses were still protected, but we're also still being eco-conscious. So it took a while to get our boxes situation taken care of first, and then we're going to start advertising soon. So far, I've had optometrists contact me wanting to sell these in their practices. I've had a couple of people contacting me that actually aren't affiliated with healthcare at all, that just wanted to wholesale purchase them and sell them also, which we were glad to do. So I think that they're going to do a great job. We've had a functional medicine office contact us, wanted to potentially wholesale purchase some. We haven't reached out to any pediatricians at this point. I have one dentist for a pediatric dentistry office that is potentially interested, but we actually haven't reached out to anybody personally yet. But we'll start doing that pretty soon. Our goal is to get everything really situated and ready, start advertising probably late winter, early spring, start having events around Colorado so that people can actually get their hands on the products and see them in person, and then buy it from our booths, and then really start hitting the advertising and marketing pretty hard for late spring and summer 2020.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think the box looks great. I can imagine that kids would be excited to get that. And
They do, because it's an unusually shaped box. So when you see this box, you don't initially think, oh, sunglasses are going to be in there. So
no.
the box really highlights how the sunglasses fold up and can actually go inside the box. So it's a pretty cool design. My designer did a great job with that too.
Yeah, it's amazing. And now, are the sunglasses made in the U.S.? Are they? I mean, because I know you're in Denver, so is that something you do locally, or?
No, we don't. We aren't having them made in the U.S. right now. Currently, they're made internationally, and we're shipping them in. But we're looking at other potential manufacturers or ways that we could, keep more of the money inside the U.S.
Mm-hmm. But that's always the challenge, right? If you want it to be accessible, pricing.
Yeah. Based on our estimations of cost, if we were to have them made in the US, it was going to drive up the cost so much that it was going to make it a little more unaffordable for the parents.
Right.
So our biggest, one of the hardest things that we had to do was find a manufacturer that we really trusted, one that we know could make a really high quality product, ship it to the US safely to where they arrived in pristine condition, and then for us to be able to sell it at a low enough cost that parents could afford it, that parents could trust it. Because parents don't want to spend $50 to $100 buying a pair of sunglasses for their 5-year-old.
Right.
So we really needed to get a high quality product for a low cost.
Gotcha. Makes sense. And you mentioned that you are offering wholesale now. Is that right? So once people get that traction.
Yeah, and that wasn't even something that we were going to start pursuing until, a few months down the road, but there's just been so many people contacting us wanting to do it that we've had to start doing that a lot sooner than we anticipated.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, it really is.
And now for ordering, for the average person who's just ordering a pair or two for their own children, do they just go through your website, or are they also available like through Amazon? Do you have other places that are being distributed?
Right now, we're just selling them on Facebook.
Okay.
We've thought about selling on Amazon, but our team hasn't reached a consensus on whether or not we really want to do that. So we're selling direct to consumer via our website and then at events right now.
Okay.
And then we're selling to optometry practices, so business to business as well. But currently, the only place for a consumer to buy them would be at one of our wholesale clients or online from our Facebook page or from our website.
And then do you have any events coming up? Places where you'll have a booth there?
So my event coordinator and I are meeting actually in 5 days to finalize all of our events for spring. So there's one big kite festival in Denver for kids. So, and people are literally staring up at the sky. So we're like, well, that's probably a good event to sell sunglasses at.
Yeah.
So there's supposed to be 20,000 people there. So we're probably going to start selling at that kite festival. We've sold at a 5K already. And then we might sell them at a St. Patrick's Day parade also.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, just one last question for you. So how is it going for you being an entrepreneur and launching this incredible product that has this reception and then also practicing, and how's that balance been?
Yeah, well, I actually, I had a full-time job and I ended up leaving that over the summer. It was starting to be too much. So I actually left that. And right now I'm working as an optometrist, probably 3 to 4 days a week on average, and then doing this the rest of the time. So yeah, trying to practice 5 full days a week and trying to run this startup on the side was starting to be quite a bit. So I've actually had to try to figure out a better work-life balance. So I've started working a little bit less as an optometrist and starting to dedicate a few more days a week to SunSnap Kids. And I think that trend is going to really keep continuing, especially as we get into the summer. I anticipate that there's going to be quite a few busy days for me working on this startup.
Yeah, absolutely. It's its own baby, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, good for you. I'm excited for this product again, as as a mother of 3, because I have gone through that. I have looked for sunglasses, and I ended up just going to Fred Meyer and getting the Superman or Spider-Man knockoffs, but they never fit right, and my kids won't wear them, and I'm that knowledge, too much knowledge, the long-term repercussions.
Yeah.
Well, wear them.
That's the big thing. Kids want to wear sunglasses that they like. And if they don't like it, they're not going to wear it. And if they don't like it that much, they're more likely to get lost too. So we're absolutely thrilled to have this product on the market now because kids love it, parents love it, and we're really thinking that this is going to help protect a lot of young and developing eyes. Also, they're just fun. Like kids like things that are fun, and slap bracelets are fun. So who doesn't like slap bracelets?
Right. Yeah. As a child of the 80s, I'm wholeheartedly behind that. Yeah, well, really a cool thing. So yeah, I'll be checking out and buying some, I'm sure, later tonight.
Great.
I really appreciate your time. Is there anything else we didn't cover that you'd like to touch on, or think we've hit all the bases?
Um, I don't think so. Yeah, we're currently just selling these for ages 4 through 12, although there's many 3-year-olds that also wear them. We're looking into starting other lines in the future, but right now our focus is these particular pairs. And then, but I think it has a lot of potential for us to develop new products in the future.
Absolutely, finding those innovative ways to address these needs.
Yes.
Yeah, so well done you.
Thank you. And thank you for taking the time to set up this interview and talk to me about it. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you joining me. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too.